Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another vlog. In this vlog, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of the THABITI AYLS African Youth Leaders Summit that we did in Kenya at St. Andrews, Turi just last month. And in this vlog, I'm going to be showing you the behind the scenes, especially the perspective of a coach as one of the coaches who was there, and just take you along the journey that we went through and that we experienced. And I really want to share what the event was all about with all of you. Now, before we get started, I do want to say a really big thank you to Coach Ben Africa, to the Hug Foundation and Moni, and everyone who was involved in making this possible. And to everyone who donated and who contributed and supported, I want to extend that thank you to you as well, because without you, this would not have been possible. Because to give you an idea, we were able to fundraise enough money to sponsor 150 kids to attend the THABITI African Youth Leaders Summit, which is super cool. And these kids experienced an extreme amount of impact. So thank you to everyone who was a part of this. And let's get into the vlog.
Back to Teen Time.
Hi guys, my channel.
Hi guys.
What's up guys? Welcome back to another vlog. We are currently on our way to AYLS, the African Youth Leaders Summit. We're super excited, can't wait. We started off on day 0. This is the day that the coaches actually got to the venue, and we all took the bus together and we were able to meet each other because there were about 20 coaches who had come from abroad, from all parts of the world. So we're talking Canada, Romania, different parts of the US and also the UK. And then there were also many coaches who were actually from Kenya itself. All right, so we are on our first stop. This is gonna be our only stop for our road trip. We're driving 4 hours from Nairobi to Nakuru, to the venue where the event is happening. So it's really exciting. We're just stopped right here in Naivasha. Look at this artwork. Some really cool art pieces. Anyways, it's been so fun. Like on the bus, just getting to know people, because there are people from all over the world. Like there are coaches from Kenya, there are coaches from the UK, coaches from the US. So it's just really cool to just get to know everyone, learn about everyone's stories, and the fact that we're all about to just like make this event come to life is super cool. Today, when we get there, we're gonna do a tour of the venue, and then we're also going to be like going through some training. So the coaches are getting training done so that we can host the best event possible. And this is training just to get us ready for what's to come and make sure that everything is ready to go. So yeah, I have my football with me just because this place has 7 football pitches. Like I might even just like dip from my duties as one of the coaches, and I might just play football the whole time. I'll take you guys along and I'll show you around. It's gonna be fun. Everyone's making fun of my Crocs.
Well, not only the Crocs, but the socks, the pants inside the. Oh, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Leah.
Each on their own is okay.
Hi, Rehan.
So yeah, it was really cool to just meet all the coaches and all these amazing people who were all part of this event. And that was one of the highlights for me, was meeting all these incredible people who now they're my friends. Like we just developed such a strong bond together. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there was something like over 50 coaches who were there at the event, just helping out and making sure that the event ran smoothly. And I also want to shout out the Kubamba team. They were our hype team. They were the ones who were getting all the kids ready, making us dance and just have such a good time. So huge shout out to you guys. It was so nice to have met all of you. So on day 0, what happened is when all the coaches came, that was like our introduction day for us as coaches. So we got to visit the venue, which was just incredible, by the way. Like this place was insane. Infrastructure and everything that they had was crazy. They had 7 football pitches. They had like an Olympic-sized swimming pool and all these other amenities, and it was just incredible. Such a big space.
Baby girl, I say your body na killer, oh. I get it tired of your body, oh. Only on your body. The corner, there's somebody made a call. I'm see the wine, I see fire for her body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill. Baby girl, you body, girl, the way you wine. demand over you, girl. I demand over you.
That was pretty much the first day. We're just getting to know each other and getting introduced to this new setting, just understanding the layout of the venue so that we can ensure that, you know, the kids are safe, that the kids are having a good time, and that we know where to go for the different activities and for the different parts of the actual event. That was all on day 0. This is before the kids even arrived. And then the next day when the kids arrived, that's when things just started to go. Yo, what's going on, my people? So it is officially, I guess, day 1. This is the day that everyone's gonna be coming to the school, all the kids, all the participants. My voice is still recovering from yesterday. I lost it pretty bad, but that's okay. That's what happens when you bring the intensity to your stuff. But right now, it's early in the morning. It's about 6:30. I have my ball. This is where I'm going. I hope you guys can hear me, but this is the highest point of the campus, the highest altitude. Oh shoot. All right, I'm just gonna play a little bit, have fun. Guys, look at that sunrise, holy. Have a look at that. Guys, it's honestly the simple things in life, man. Just this right now. This guy. Me. This net. This place, nature. That's all you need, brother. My voice though, holy moly. The kids are arriving today and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited to just have any type of impact that I can have. I do have some responsibilities at this event, which is always fun. This is the first time that we're doing AYLS, and obviously there have been some hiccups, but there's a solid team around this project. It's all getting done and it's all happening. It's going to be something that's going to happen every year, I'm sure of it. Like, I'm absolutely sure it's going to be an annual thing. I'm just super happy to be here. Yeah. It is 6:58. We're supposed to be at breakfast at 7. So I guess that's what we'll do. But yeah, let's go. Let's crush it today. Let's have a good time. I'm gonna do my best to heal my voice because I'm gonna be yelling and screaming and yapping a lot. But yeah, let's see how this day unfolds. I'm super excited about it. So the kids all arrived in the morning. There was a whole process. So when they arrived, they had to check in, register, make sure that they had everything. They were given their name tags and all that stuff. And then they went to this one place that we call Twin Peaks. That's where they did like their icebreakers. Now the purpose of icebreakers is to get the kids ready and what we call get them into state for the actual event. This is kind of like their introduction into the event. It's their way of like kind of just like starting to warm them up to what they're going to be experiencing. And it was really fun because I got to lead the icebreakers, so I was the one, you know, doing all the different games with them. I got to interact with them from the get-go, and it was really cool to just start developing that bond with them. It was also really cool to see all the other amazing coaches also do the same thing and just develop that bond with these kids, because as coaches you ultimately become their reference point. You become their go-to people throughout this event because you're going to be spending a few days with them. You want to make sure that they feel comfortable, that they feel at home, that they feel okay enough to come to you and to ask you questions, and if anything is going wrong or whatnot, then you want to know that they feel comfortable enough to just come to you and open up. Yo, what's up? All right, my voice is completely gone. All the kids, they came this morning, and as soon as they came, then it was just go time. Like, this is putting into perspective how much just goes into just hosting an event that has like over 150 people. I don't know if you can hear that, but the main room is going crazy right now. The way the event starts is like when everyone comes, they come for registration and stuff. They get all of their stuff. They get their shirts, like their green version of this. They get their lanyards with their names. And then they're put into their dorm rooms, like where they're gonna be staying. They put their stuff away, they change into their shirts. And then once they do that, then it's icebreaker time. So this is where they get to know each other. They get to kind of step into like what the vibe of the event is gonna be like. You get them all to like just do fun games and find a way to get them to really relate to each other and connect with each other and find out new things about each other and just, you know, break the ice essentially, so that you're setting them up to experience what they're gonna experience in the best way possible. That's why my voice is gone, because I mean, I'm yelling at a mic in front of close to 200 people, and you have to bring energy. With energy comes loss of a voice. And yeah, just I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's crazy. But yeah, we're about to go into the main room. Their first introduction session of like with speakers and stuff is gonna happen right now. All right, are you guys ready to enter the main room? The energy is crazy.
Are you all excited to be here? Are you sure? Why am I? Are you guys ready? We're here. This place is ours. You want? Are you ready?
And that's how it all kicked off. Now what I want to do is I want to kind of run you guys through how the days were structured. So we would wake up in the morning, I'd go and do something fun. I'd either go and play football or go for a swim in the pools or something like that. And usually I'd do that with someone or with like a couple of people. So we would go and we'd have some fun. And then after that, we'd have breakfast. And after breakfast, typically we'd go straight into the main room. Now the main room was called BP Hall. That is where a lot of the speaking would happen. So we had some pretty transformational activities such as the board break and this thing that we call belief busting, which are two very pivotal and transformational experiences that the kids go through that really help them break through their limiting beliefs and change the story that they have in their head in terms of who they are and really step into a new and better version of themselves. So those happen in BP Hall. So there are different types of talks and stuff that happen in that hall. So we'd usually go there, and then we also had these breakout sessions. So like I mentioned before, we had a bunch of coaches there, and all these different coaches had different expertise and experiences in life. So I think there were about 12 coaches who were in charge of these breakout rooms. And these breakout rooms, these breakout sessions were on specific topics. So for example, the one that I did was all about using sports for change. So how can you use your passion for sports to make a difference in your communities or in the world or somehow in some way? And the other coaches also had their very specific topic that they were talking about. Some of them focused on business, some of them focused on mindfulness, some of them focused on art and music. So it was all these different interests that these kids could have. And what the kids did is they chose 4 different sessions that they wanted to be a part of and they wanted to attend. And us as coaches, we just hosted 4 different workshops and 4 different breakout sessions throughout the event. So in the morning, there was usually a session, then we would go for lunch. And then after lunch, we'd have another breakout session with a different group. And then after that, we do an activity. So part of the activities that we did a scavenger hunt, and we also did what we call the Olympics. We had different games at different stations and there were different competitions, right? So there was one where you had to like take a big tire as a team from one end to the other as many times within a 10-minute time frame. There was another one where you were holding onto a rope and there were a bunch of knots and you had to untie the knots as a team. But the trick was that you were not allowed to let go of the rope. So you had one hand that was on the rope at all times and the other one was free, but you were not allowed to move this hand that was on the rope at all. We did one with like water and buckets. So you had to take water from one end and pass it over your head and you were all in the line as a team. These are all about team building and leadership building because this is their opportunity for them to come together and start leading each other to figure out what strategy they're going to use to make sure that, you know, the game goes well and that they're able to perform well. And then for us as coaches, what was really cool is that we were just having so much fun. Like honestly, we were having a blast. It was so much fun. Like I'll show you guys some of the clips that I was able to get from just the coaches just having a good time. Like we were just being silly, being goofy, but at the same time like facilitating this change, and it was just super cool. And another thing that I want to mention is one of the highlights of the event for me was on the very last night. It was someone's birthday, and St. Andrew's Turi, the venue, they actually made a cake for this girl whose birthday it was, and the whole cafeteria essentially just broke out into a dance and into a party randomly. It was spontaneous, it was not planned. There was like this blend of just fun, happiness, and pure joy and pure love in that moment. So yeah, that was definitely a highlight for me.
Washa mishumaa, weka keki juu ya meza, oh ila usinicheke, nimekuletea zawadi kidogo lichobarikiwa, aki mwana mkwete, aja na dumu la maji, nasije kakumwagia, anaka picha kako nitaka post, poso kupenda itawakost, siku yako nishajikoki, ndugu rafiki zako tunasema happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you.
Now I want to talk about the transformation that these kids experienced. These kids were there for a pretty short amount of time. We're talking about 3 full days. And the transformation that they experienced was out of this world. We witnessed these kids going from being shy, not having too much confidence, to stepping into these versions of themselves that are just absolutely incredible, where they are able to speak in front of a group of people. In fact, there's a story that I'd love to share with you all of this kid named Kevin. So Kevin, he was in one of my breakout sessions where we were talking about sports for change. Part of my workshop was for these kids to come up with an idea and a vision that they had on how they could use sports as a way to make a difference in their communities or in some way. And that could be anything. It could be like becoming a professional athlete and inspiring people that way. It could be creating a club, creating an academy. It could be finding a way to use sports to bring people together. Whatever it is, whatever idea that they had, I wanted them to come up with it. And then I would invite people to come in front of the group and share it with everyone. Now in this specific session, there were 2 kids who had already come up, and then I was asking for a third and no one was raising their hand. I went around the room and I just asked, like, what is the reason why you are here? Why did you want to come to THABITI AYLS? So we're going around the room and everyone is sharing. They're sharing things like, oh, I wanted to improve my leadership skills. I want to get closer to achieving my goals. And everyone's kind of sharing their little thing. And then we get to the middle of the room and it's Kevin's turn to share. And Kevin just shares very quietly. He says, you know, I really want to develop my leadership skills, but most of all, I have a really hard time like speaking and socializing with people and speaking in front of a group of people. And then I just remember in that moment, I just felt so compelled to invite Kevin to present his idea to the group as like this first stage and first step of him like overcoming that fear. So I just asked him, I said, would it be okay for me to challenge you and for us to face that fear together, for you to come up in front of everyone to share your idea and share your vision? He gives me a smile and then he says, okay. And he comes up in front of everyone, and after a few seconds of silence, he starts to speak. And he shares that vision with everyone. And after he shared it, everyone started clapping for him. And it was such a beautiful moment. But let me tell you something even cooler. Fast forward to the last day, Kevin was on stage on his own with a mic in his hands, inspiring 200 people who were in that room and speaking in front of everyone, giving people a talk about what leadership is all about.
Leadership is all about the vision and the mission. So no matter young you are, you can stand and find out the problem and provide the solution. Thank you guys, and also gratitude to my coach there, Coach Ray. He's the one who inspired me, and now I can stand before people without fear, can speak and express myself.
And that for me was everything. Like when you witness that and you see firsthand the transformation that can be made through an event like this, where a kid is able to discover more about themselves and break into a version of themselves that they want to be, like that is everything. Because who knows now how they're going to take that and make a difference in the world? Who knows how they're going to take that and have an impact in their communities and their families? You never know the ripple effect that that is going to have. So that was something that was just so cool to witness. And Kevin is just one example. Imagine all the other kids who were able to experience some type of transformation, some change. And as coaches, I'm going to be completely honest, we are there maybe to guide them and to facilitate them, but ultimately we have to give credit to these kids for not only showing up, but playing full out and deciding that they are going to make a difference and that they are going to change something about themselves and that they are going to step into a better version of themselves because they can, because they want to, because they have a strong why. Something about these kids that I realize is that despite the challenges that they have been through, because a lot of them come from very, very disadvantaged situations, a lot of them are underprivileged, especially when you're comparing them to kids who are in the Western world. These kids, not only do they have an immense amount of gratitude for what they already have, but they have this desire and this fire within to make a difference because of the pain and the struggle that they have experienced. They want to make a difference, and that is something that is super powerful. And I can't even explain how emotional that makes me, because for them to have experienced everything that they have and to still want to give back, they're not thinking about themselves, they're still thinking about others. It's incredible. And it is inspiring. So to all the kids who are at THABITI, I want to say a big thank you as well, because you inspired us as coaches. You helped us feel inspired. You have given us a spark. And for that, we're all very, very grateful towards all of you. So yeah, once again, I want to say thank you to the kids, of course, and thank you to Coach Ben Africa. Thank you to the Hug Foundation. Thank you to Moni. Thank you to Rise and Shine. Thank you to everyone who was a part of this. Thank you to everyone who donated. To all the coaches who were there, I want to say a big thank you to you as well, because it was such a pleasure and an honor to serve by your sides, to get to know each and every single one of you, and to just be in that environment with all of you and to witness all the amazing gifts that you have to bring to this world and that you brought to all these kids. It was super heartwarming, and I can't thank you all enough. So a huge shout out to everyone who was involved in this. And yeah, like I said in the video, we're gonna be back next year. The dates are already confirmed, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a great time. And if you're interested in learning more about THABITI AYLS, the Hug Foundation, Coach Ben Africa, or anything that we're doing over there and in the future with these different things, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Instagram if you want, or anywhere else. My social media is all down below. And you can also check out the Hug Foundation. There's also a recap video of THABITI AYLS that I'm gonna leave in the description. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and this vlog. This was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. But what I really wanted to do was just throw in a little montage of THABITI AYLS, of all the fun moments. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the montage, and we'll see you next week for another vlog. Peace.
Whether you're going to get a session or not, you will be able to.
What's going on the vlog?
Cheki masaa, curfew imefika, mi na mafans tunachachisha, na yule bouncer anachoma picha, na kazi ja bust kuja wakisha. Cheki masaa, curfew imefika, mi na mafans tunachachisha, na yule bouncer anachoma picha, na kazi ja bust kuja wakisha, kuja wakisha, kuja wakisha, kazi ja bust kuja wakisha, kuja chachisha, curfew imefika, na kazi ja bust kuja wakisha. Niko job na nade kufika home, kuna jam na mama ako alone, nichukue Uber na niko na loan. Z baby na come home.
Guys along.
This flap is so funny. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there.
to succeed. One of the I didn't know what I built to last.
Oh my god.
It's a